This small shop
There's 5 of us here, kind of a small, tight-knit family.
knows how to make a big splash.
On social media, that car just exploded.
Can they go from viral sensation to winning the Barrett-Jackson Cup?
I wanted to do something that would punch you in your face when you looked at it.
This is the path to performance, presented by Castrol Edge.
My name's Tony Arme, owner of American Legends, Phoenix, Arizona, and we're bringing a 1966 Chevelle to the Barrett-Jackson Cup. I was introduced to cars from a real early age. I mean, we didn't have money basically to take it to mechanics, and remember working on my grandparents' cars and our own vehicles in the driveway with my dad. And then when I was gonna start driving, we were able to purchase a 68 Mustang from my neighbors, and this car had to get me to school. So it's like, if it broke, it was like, oh shit, we have to fix this now. A lot of the stuff I did was really limited by funds. I wasn't spending $1,000 on brakes. You know, I'd figure out how to get a big brake kit off of a different car and adapt it on, so you had to be smart about it, which probably was better in the long run versus just, you know, 1-800 every single part on the car. And yeah, it would have been cool, but it's cool when it has some unique touches that require a little bit of ingenuity. I knew I wanted to work on cars, so I went to an automotive school, and I planned on, I guess, working at a dealership or something, just working on cars. And then while I was in college, my teacher pulled me aside and he introduced me to this small hot rod shop that was in the valley. And that's when I realized you could do it for a living, like work on the old cars. And so to me, that was like, holy shit, this is so cool. I get to actually work on what I want to work on and not just all these new cars. And that's where it kind of started. And basically along the way for me, I just learned everything I could, you know, good, bad, and different. And then at the end of the last place I worked at, we kind of came to an ultimatum, or well, I got fired, basically. So I had no choice to just go do it on my own. There's definitely a whole nother level of stress added when you own the place and have to worry about other people's paychecks and the rent and all the stuff that go with it. I mean, there's 5 of us here, so it's just kind of a small, tight-knit family. So it was pretty scary. I had a 8-month-old at the time, and we were like a year into a house that we had just bought, so it was nerve-wracking. Basically been in business for a year, and I remember me and my wife were sitting there at SEMA, and we just had debuted this 57 Chevy. It was an unbelievable car, and we might as well not even have been there because you're surrounded by it. Endless unbelievable cars. So I wanted to do something that would punch you in your face when you looked at it, basically, and to show what we were truly capable of. So I'd had that Mustang for 12 years, was my car to get me to work. And one day the engine let go in that, and that kind of just got parked and set aside. And I like Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all the modern supercars, but I like the old muscle cars. And it's like, well, why can't they coexist? So I remember sitting there at SEMA, we were shopping for engines, and I was looking at all sorts of stuff, race engines, NASCAR stuff, and a Ferrari motor came across. I didn't even know you could purchase one of those, let alone on eBay. And there definitely had never been a muscle car done with a Ferrari power plant. And the price point wasn't awful in comparison to other equivalent things, but the wow factor was 100 times cooler. So that's where we decided that that was the route we were gonna go. My wife named it Corrupt because it's broken from that aspect. It's definitely all the wrongs to make it right. And from like a social media standpoint, that car just exploded and really put us on the map. The Chevelle that we're taking to the Cup, it's kind of had a little interesting life. We had a customer who took it from another shop and brought it here, and we made quite a bit of progress on it. Long story short, basically lost interest and wanted us to put it up for sale. You know, I have a lot of time, effort, heart, and soul in the car. I want to finish it. So the customer is willing to sell it at a discount. And basically it's a blank slate for somebody that wants to take over a project that hasn't had too many decisions made. We don't have the wheels for it yet. It's not been painted, obviously. And then I was able to meet Dana through social media, and he was able to buy the car and take over the build.
So I picked the car up midstream. This was my first opportunity to step into a build. And the car was stripped down, and I had a totally blank canvas, you know, world-renowned designer, awesome shop to really bring to life this 66.
I think probably what drew him to it was the design. Had a little bit of a concept car twist to it. So this was a really good opportunity for somebody to get in a high-dollar project for significantly less money. And he's way ahead from a time standpoint too. We probably have a year worth of work in it to get to the point where Dana took over. So he got to like cut halfway through the line.
Sean Smith, I feel honored to be able to be building a car with him as the designer. He's pumped out some amazing renders, and he was able to help me see the vision for what this car could be. So there's a couple things we needed to talk about.
With Dana in town, it's a really good chance for us to reach out to Sean and go over all the design changes that we've made. So we're gonna get Sean on the phone and go through everything together. Sean, I have the original sketches.
Sounds good.
We did 3 different versions, silver, red, and black. Do you have a preference as far as color?
I mean, I think the red's loud, right? Like, if we're gonna go out and show the car, I think the red makes a statement.
When you're choosing a color, it's the first thing you see and the most important part of the car. You just want to make sure you nail it.
I want it to have this kind of like aggressive feel to it, like with the bigger wheels and everything and the stance. I think that does it. So I don't really want like a cartoony pop red, you know?
Some of these colors can get very tricky, very shifty. Blues are very difficult to not flip-flop to purple. Reds can flip-flop to pink. They can get muddy or brown.
Are we thinking a metallic red, or are we thinking like a non-metallic traditional bright red? I would say a little bit of metallic red personally, but it's up to you guys.
I mean, I like the idea of doing like a metallic red. That would give it some shading to help show the body lines off better. So when it's in the sun, it would give all those highlight lines.
A tremendous amount of man hours have gone into the custom bumpers, grills, the exterior of that car, the light kit on the back of that's gonna be absolutely mind-blowing. What color is gonna set that off? So picking that color is extremely important to me. Did you happen to share that last minute picture I sent you through Instagram? It's a really interesting color.
It's the East Bay Muscles Mustang. I think they called it Rampant.
I worked on that car actually. I can figure out what red that is.
I mean, it's just as an idea for kind of like where my head's at. That was something that I think the car could probably pull off, because my understanding is that vehicle in light or in dark has like different shades, but it still pops really well. I want to highlight some of the work that Tony's done, of course.
I think we would want to err a little on the darker side. I don't want it to go maroon, obviously, by any means. Like definitely still red if we go red, but it's gonna have to be a red that works with carbon and bronze and like a titanium feel. So it'll have to be, I guess, kind of a warmer red. It can't get cold.
Okay.
What we're doing with Sean right now is we're trying to find, I guess, just the area of color we want to be in. And then once we go to the painter, we'll do spray outs of multiple versions of that color. And then that's where, normally it's like, oh, it's that one.
I'll start with getting the exterior updated, which won't take too long. Put the new wheels on, get the color and everything. And then from there, go into the Engine Bay colors, the interior. That works for you guys.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
It's awesome. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see this thing kind of come to life.
The Barrett-Jackson Cup, they limited it 50 cars, which is, especially for the high-end show car community, that's not very many spots. That's a big deal to be in just the 50 alone. They whittle it down to 5, and then those compete against each other for the cup.
Winning the Barrett-Jackson Cup would be life-changing, honestly. It's a really prestigious award, so I feel honored that I'm even participating in this. The idea of winning that, I mean, that's next level.
We have done the Cup in Scottsdale since it started. We've always had an opportunity to be part of the 50, but we've never gone past that. That would be cool just to even make it into the 5. You know, trying to win this is a whole nother level.